What's up, guys? My name is Mike. You've reached Rugged Adventures, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you might want to check out a RZR 800 in 2020. Just after this.
Come on, let's go!
Alright dudes, we're going to start off with these. They're really in no particular order, but probably in my mind I'll start thinking of them like a decreasing 5 to 1 or whatever. So number 5 is the reliability of these things. The 800 models had some features and some things that the newer models are different in. Number 1, and the biggest one I can think of with reliability, is no reverse chain. There is no reverse chain in the transmission of an 800 RZR like there is in the 900s and 1000s. The turbo does not have a reverse chain either, so that's a plus. In my opinion, a reverse chain in a vehicle like this is one of the dumbest things that you could do. I'm sure they have a reason for it, but I can't think of it. That is one of the biggest durability reasons, or biggest reliability things. As far as the rest of the unit, I see these things getting beat on all day long on YouTube. And they just take it. They, as long as they're on relatively stock size tires, they don't snap too many axles. This is the biggest area you need to watch out for in these, is this air filter. Make sure that you're using only a Polaris air filter and that is securely locked in there. Because apparently the biggest downfall of these is that they dust the engines. Other than that, I don't see clutches exploding. I don't see shredding belts terribly often. Unless just something's out of the ordinary. In general, it seems like these hold up pretty well, and from what I've read online, most people refer to these things as tanks. Guys, reason number 4 to consider an 800 RZR if you're looking in 2020 to buy one is that, as far as these go, they are essentially the S model as far as the suspension. And actually, they were called, the 800s were called the S. The 4s weren't. They were just, whatever they are. And so they have essentially identical suspensions to the new 900 and 1000 S's. I'm not sure if they're exactly identical, but if you look at them, they have very similar dual A-arm, coil-over shock type of suspension. And if you get one of these models, you're still going to get, especially the S models with the Fox shocks, you're getting the Fox Podium 2.0 shocks, with adjustable preload, adjustable compression settings. Now it's not the XPs. You can get these either in 50 or 60 inch wide widths, depending on what you get. If you do get a 4-seater, it only came in the 60. But for the most part, you're getting exactly what you could get today in a 2020 S model in an 800. Okay guys, reason number 3 to consider an 800 series RZR in 2020. When these things were brand new, these were the turbos. These were the 1000s. They were the top of the line model at the time, and as such, people equipped them with top of the line equipment. So if you get one of these used, you're gonna get a lot of value in accessories. For example, when I bought this 2012, it came with Pro Armor doors, pre-installed, Pro Armor harnesses in all 4 seats. I think these are 4-inch in the front and 3-inch in the back. Audio system, already in it. This is just a one-off job that the previous owner had done. Already came with Polaris lock and ride roof. Came with Polaris lock and ride windshield. And it came with the lock and ride rear windshield. I may be missing some things, but for the most part, that adds up to several $1,000s of accessories. And you get that just included with the price of the machine pre-installed. And if the previous owner did a good job of installing those things, you're good to go. And in this case, this guy did a great job installing these things. The only things that I have had to do, they also included a winch, and it has a wireless remote and a switch in the cab Again, it's, you know, already done for me. So the only thing that I've had to add, I added a brush guard, a light bar, LED headlights. I just put these mirrors on. I'll link these in another video that I just put on, these breakaway mirrors. And then I added a tough skid plate, because he still had the original skid plate on the thing. So that's a big benefit. If you're on a limited budget, or you just like to get a good value for your dollar versus buying the premium product, 800 is probably gonna come with a bunch of stuff on it. Now let's talk about what everyone, you know, what it comes down to for some folks is power. It's an 800, right? So you're only talking about 55 horsepower versus the 110 from the 1000s, 75 from the 900s, 168 from the turbos. So obviously very low down the totem pole for total power. However, it's no slouch. It has a lot of low end torque. Just the design of this engine has a ton of low end torque, and it still has 55 horsepower. And I can get this thing up to, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour on the road, easily get up to 30, 40 miles per hour quickly on the trail in just any straightaway. And now, you know, it'll make the rear end brake loose, not a problem. And then on top of that, you can alleviate, if you put bigger tires on it, or if you have this big 4-seat model, you can alleviate most of your power or bogging problems with clutching. I have a Dalton clutch kit on this, and it really put a lot of punch into it right when you hit the throttle. With that being said, if you're a dunes kind of person, if you need a lot of power for the mud, this would probably not be it for you, because the 800 just doesn't have as much grunt as the newer ones do. But if you're just a trail rider, even if you like going fast on the trails, logging roads, things of that nature, I think you're going to be all right with an 800. I'm the type of person that likes speed. I have an Escalade that I routinely push up to 3 digits on the road, and this thing still scares the bejesus out of me far more than that does. So there you have it on power. That was the number 2 reason. Up next, number 1. Guys, number 1's a pretty no-brainer. We're talking about price, value for your dollar. And there's really 2 ways to look at this. Is either this is what you can afford, or this is what you want to afford. So these 800s, they are what, turbo, 1000, they're like 4 engine generations down the line. They also don't have the XP suspension that a lot of people want, or the Pro suspension. So you're going to be able to get these at a very low price. So either this is what you can afford, or you can afford more, but you're just not going to pay, you know, $20,000, $30,000 for a toy. So for this model, this is a 2012. It's a Robbie Gordon edition with electric power steering. It's a 4-seat model. It has 992 miles on it that the original owner put on it. I bought it about 6 months ago. I think I bought it with like 900 or so. I can't recall. I got it for $8,500 with the accessories that I mentioned on it. It was essentially brand new. It looked like he had waxed the thing before I purchased it. Nothing was broken. And it's hard to beat that price. And for a 2-seater, you can find these things well equipped, in good shape for, you know, $5,500, $5,000, $6,000. The value of that is incredible, just in the machine itself. And then you got to think, what if you keep it 3 or 4 years and you're done with it? You're probably only going to lose, you know, half that value, 60% of that value. So if I lost half of this, I'd be out what, $4,250. Whereas if I went out and bought a new machine for $30,000, I might only be able to resell it in 4 or 5 years for $14,000. You know, I'd lose 50%. It's still 50%, but it's, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. So if you're like me and you like to just try to find the best value for your dollar, the 800 model is a fantastic option if you can find one that hasn't been beaten on. And I'm going to do another video about what to look for, why to buy used, versus new, and just kind of how to try to judge that so you don't end up getting yourself something that's been ragged out and it's just run out. Guys, if you like this video, you like RZR videos, outdoor type of stuff, think about subscribing to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends. I'll see you guys next time.